Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, welcome to Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. You do your thing. We've got you covered. Hey Coach is also brought to you by Everwood, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Ford, get the job done right in a Ford F-150, the smartest F-150 ever. Raise your game and visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Toyota, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and buy. McMurray Van, rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Welcome into Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. I'm Gray Robertson, happy to be here at Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of Alabama Athletics. And man, oh man, we are having a watch party here tonight in Tuscaloosa. Right now, Alabama women's basketball facing off with Maryland, trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998. Just over a minute left in that game. Alabama leads Maryland 80-78. We will keep you up to date on that as this show goes on, and we've got a great show coming up for you here this evening. We will be joined by Alabama head baseball coach Rob Vaughn, as well as a couple players from the baseball team, Will Plattner and Braylon Myers. We'll chat about everything that happened this past weekend against Tennessee and what's ahead as conference play continues for the baseball team against Oklahoma coming up this weekend. Also, some other news and notes around Alabama athletics. Men's basketball off to the Sweet 16 after beating St. Mary's on Sunday. They'll face BYU Thursday at 6:09 Central Time. As I mentioned, women's basketball now leading by 1 against Maryland with 1:01 left. Trust me, there's a lot of tension in here in Baumhower's right now as we watch the end of this game. Softball will be hosting Georgia this weekend and a midweek at UNA on Wednesday after dropping 2 of 3 at Texas A&M this weekend. And gymnastics will host the NCAA regionals April 3rd through the 6th. Alabama will get their event started on April 4th. After coming in 5th in the SEC championships. And, of course, if you want to know more about what's going on with Alabama athletics, be sure to listen to Crimson Drive Thursday afternoons on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. Crimson Drive is live each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, so be sure to join us for the latest on Alabama athletics. And here's the very latest. Sarah Ashley Barker just hit a 3, so Alabama leads Maryland 83-80 with 27 seconds left. Also a reminder, Tide fans in North Alabama and all over the state, the New Wave meet and greet with Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe has been rescheduled for Saturday, March 29th. That's this weekend at Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater in Albertville, Alabama. Ryan and Jalen will now be at Sand Mountain Park from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 29th to meet Bama fans, sign autographs, and pose for photos. Please mark your calendars for this new date. And lastly, keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank, available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. Really quickly, before we go to break here on Hey Coach, Maryland has just hit a 3 with 12 seconds left. The game is tied at 83. Spot in the Sweet 16 is on the line. That Sweet 16 game would be against South Carolina in Birmingham. So we'll see what Christy Curry draws up out of that timeout, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. And when we come back, we'll talk with Alabama head baseball coach Rob Vaughn and let you know what happened in the final 12 seconds of Alabama and Maryland women's basketball here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nobody beats me, Mark Sears, on the court, and nobody beats Cook's Pest Control when it comes to superior protection against unwanted pests and termites. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. guaranteed. Call Cooks today for your free quote or to schedule a free on-site inspection. Roll Tide.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cooks Pest Control.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
The Alabama Education Association is the member-driven voice of Alabama's education employees. AEA members are teachers, education support professionals, administrators, professors, future teachers, and education retirees. Joining the Alabama Education Association has never been easier. Use their new online membership for a fast, safe, and secure way to join today. Visit myaea.org to learn more.
Hey there, Bob Baumhower again, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhower's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk Specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day, 7 days a week? Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town, Baumhower's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Welcome into Hey Coach here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. I'm Gray Robertson, filling in for everyone because there's a lot going on in Alabama athletics this weekend, and we said we would give you an update. Here it is. They're going to overtime. Alabama and Maryland tied up at 83, going to overtime for a spot in the Sweet 16. And perhaps it is fitting that we can talk about someone who's got a connection to both schools. Alabama head baseball coach Rob Vaughn, former head coach of Maryland, now the head coach for the Crimson Tide. Coach, welcome on to Hey Coach. How are you?
Thanks, Garrett. Great to be here.
Absolutely. Great to have you here. And let's talk about this past weekend. Obviously a hard-fought battle with Tennessee at home. 3 really exciting games to watch. What were your biggest takeaways from what you saw from the team this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, the crowds were awesome, first of all. You know, we kind of challenged them to kind of show up for the boys, and, man, did they do that. I mean, Thursday night was great. Friday, Saturday, even better. 2 sellout games. And 2 of the 3 games were really good baseball games. You know, Friday we played awesome. In Tennessee, they're the number 1 team in the country for a reason. I mean, it is – I don't think they ran a dude out there at us throwing less than 95, 97, it seemed like all weekend. And it's tough. It's a dangerous lineup. And, you know, come out and play great Thursday. Friday, you kind of get in a hole early and are down chasing 5 early. But, man, they scratched and clawed and had a chance. We had the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 9th and, you know, chasing 10-5 at the time and get the tying run at home plate. So, man, we fought hard. We were swinging away there. And then they just kind of outplayed us yesterday, you know, or I guess Saturday now. They were – man, their starter is a young pup that was really good, man, threw the ball really well. We, again, kind of had a tough start, couldn't quite get off the field, and just couldn't get anything going. So you look at those games, you're playing the number 1 team in the country, you get outplayed one of them where you're just kind of never in the game. And the other 2 are a swing away, a mistake away, a mental cue away, something away from winning that series. That's what the SEC is. You look at those top 25 rankings, I mean, it seems like 90% of our leagues in the top 15 in the country. And that's why you come here. That's why you play in this league. That's why students come to school and play in this league. And it's a heck of a lot of fun, but it's a grind every weekend.
Yeah, how much do you hammer home that message of like, yeah, you know, no moral victories, obviously, but we won 1 game against the number 1 team in the country. We were a swing away in the second game. How do you kind of utilize that to show how close the team is to being up at that level?
Yeah, I mean, I actually told them before the game on Saturday, that offense is good, but I'm not sure ours wasn't better, with the at-bats we were taking. You come into the weekend, you watch guys on video, but until you really play them, you don't really have a huge feel for exactly what you're dealing with. And, I left Friday night like, man, expecting to win on Saturday. Like, hey, this isn't a question. I expect us to go out and win. We had back-to-back games where we didn't get great starts, and I think when you're doing that and you're chasing constantly with that offense, you're just going to put yourself in a little bit of a hole, and you got to credit those guys, man. They were tough offensively. Andrew Fisher is not very well liked in the town of Tuscaloosa, but that dude can really, really hit, and he got us a couple times, and it's just a good team, man. They've been there. They didn't flinch in the moment. I didn't think we flinched in the moment. We just made one too many mistakes, and they took advantage of it. So, like you said, there ain't no moral victory. I think we can line up. You go give me 10 games against them, I'll take our guys every day of the week. I think our kids are real tough. I think it's the real deal. So, just came up a little bit short this weekend, but you got to have a quick turnaround because you got another top 10 team in the country coming in this weekend.
And what do you feel like has been the biggest difference that you've seen? Year one last year here in Tuscaloosa, now year two, off to a great start, 22-3. How have you seen this program evolve after year one?
I think just the consistency of their mindset has been the biggest thing that's jumped out to me. And that's something we really preach all the time. Everybody is good in this league. There is good players across college baseball. 1 through 16 in the SEC are talented enough to win the league. So you got to figure out what your separator is. And I say it all the time, man. I think our separator is our mindset and our toughness. And our consistency in which we've played the game is as special as any group of kids I've coached, and you have those teams I've coached before where it's like, man, which offense are we going to get today? Which pitching are we going to be the good ones? You're kind of waiting to see who shows up. And man, our kids have been incredibly consistent in the way they've approached games and the way they've operated in games. They don't panic late. We had some late inning dramatics throughout the year and have come out on the right side of it. And we had some late inning dramatics on Friday night. And we're Kate Snell, they bring in a lefty to face him. And we're down 3, and he stays over ball and smashes it just right at the left fielder. And if that ball's 5 feet to the left or right, we're off to the races, and here we go. But that's baseball. It wasn't. We were out and kind of move on to the next one. So, but, man, the approach and their mental approach to every game has just been incredibly awesome to watch.
I think Alabama baseball fans, as you can probably hear the crowd reacting to the women's basketball game, Maryland leads 88-87 in overtime. I think the baseball fans would not like me very much if I didn't talk about Justin LeBron for a bit. You mentioned consistency. He has certainly been kind of the staple of that here this year to start with the numbers he's been putting up.
Man, we got 8 weeks left in conference play here, and that guy's already got 50 RBIs. That's the definition of consistency. And man, he hits in the midweeks when you got kind of lighter opponents. He hits off the big arms. He's just so steady, and it's rare for high-end players to do that. I coached a kid at Maryland, Matt Shaw. He's in the big leagues now with the Cubs. It was a superstar. First-round draft pick, made to the big leagues in a year. And that was always a joke with Matty. It's like, hey, you want to get him out, go throw that guy throwing 84 on a Tuesday, and he'll go 0 for 4. Justin doesn't do that. He hits you if you throw 82. He hits you if you throw 95. And he also goes out and plays arguably the hardest position on the field at an elite level. So, incredible kid, incredible leader, and linchpin of what we're doing. And I think that's what we have, man. We have a superstar, and we've got a lot of players around him that feed into that, and a lot of glue dudes around him. So it's been fun to coach him, that's for dang sure.
Well, and we've got some other of your kids joining us tonight. Will Plattner, Braylon Myers, they'll both be joining us here on Hey Coach as the show goes on. Alabama head baseball coach Rob Vaughn with us, and we'll have Braylon Myers joining us next in just a few moments. But first, a quick reminder, March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up with Baumhowers and their Slam Dunk Specials. Enjoy fan favorites with their fresh, never frozen, award-winning traditional buffalo wings, tasty Bam Bam shrimp, and buttermilk fried chicken tenders, all served with dunkable, scratch-made buttermilk ranch. Specials start at just $7.99. And one quick update on the women's basketball game. Maryland leads Alabama 90-88. Sarah Ashley Barker at the line for one shot with 2:29 left in overtime. We will keep you up to date on that as Hey Coach continues here at Baumhowers on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDominoes.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live courtside cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Barkley makes it easy.
Get ready to rev up your engines and feel the excitement at Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac. We've got the perfect ride to match your style and adventure. Visit us at our showroom at Skyland Boulevard and let our friendly team help you find the vehicle of your dreams. Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, where hometown pride and unbeatable deals collide. Drive with passion with Barkley. Visit us today or check us out online at barkleygmc.com.
Barkley makes it easy.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
Hey Bama fans, this is Roger Hoover. Each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics, with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Looking to make a statement? Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. With our incredible range of signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement with Fast Signs. Stop in today or visit fastsigns.com. A proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance here at Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party for all Alabama athletics. And the watch party continues for women's basketball as Maryland is now taking a 95-91 lead in overtime with 1:25 left. The crowd is watching that and also watching us up here on the Hey Coach desk. Gray Robertson alongside Alabama head baseball coach Rob Vaughn and Braylon Myers joining us up here. And, Coach, I'll let you introduce this young man to your right to the audience listening here at Baumhower's and across the airwaves.
Yeah, this is Braylon Myers, right-handed pitcher from somewhere in Alabama.
Oak Grove,
Alabama. We call him Shaq. He wore number 32 when he got here, so he Shaq'd all of us, and he's a superstar, man. He's been around the block, awesome human, really good arm, kind of our guy out of the pen.
I love it. Braylon, I heard that the old nickname was Shaq Diesel prior to Shaq.
Yes.
Yeah? What was the story behind that?
Well, my freshman year, I had a teammate, Landon Green, and I think he figured out I played basketball, and I was also number 32. So he started calling me Shaq, and eventually that led to Shaq Diesel, and it's kind of stuck so far.
I like it. Real quick, 95-93 Maryland, 27.6 seconds left, where everyone is sitting
Tide ball,
looking at the game while we're chatting here. I also shot a text to a buddy, Jim Jarvis, and asked a little about you, and he said you used to give motivational speeches as a freshman.
I did.
What went into the topics of those speeches?
Honestly, just a little bit of everything. I don't know if it was motivation. I think they kind of found it funny. So just, kind of chill the nerves before the game.
Was there anything in particular, any memorable speeches that you gave?
Not really. I just remember I yelled. I don't know what I said, but I don't know. I really don't.
Sometimes those work best, too. So whatever gets the guys fired up.
That's it.
What have you enjoyed, Braylon, the most about this season so far?
Really just competing, honestly, and being around the guys. I think this team is special, and really just hanging out with them at the field, at the clubhouse. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Coach, to have a weapon like Braylon and like many that you've got on this pitching staff, how does that help you when you try and decide which button to push depending on the situation in the game?
Yeah, I mean, so much of it, is depend on where you're at, what situation, what the score is, all of that stuff. But the great thing about Shaq, man, is he's kind of a jack of all trades for us. He's closed games out for us, closed the game out at A&M, and came and finished off that series and threw 2 big innings there at the end. We've used him in kind of a fireman role. Like, we trust him in a situation to bring him into a mess and know that he's got the mindset, he's got the presence to be able to just kind of calm the storm a little bit, you know. And I think every good team has those guys. You know, obviously you have your starters, you have your quote-unquote closer, but you got to have the guy that you just trust to calm the game in certain situations. That's what he's done for us. He's kind of a jack of all trades, and I can tell you our coaching staff and our team, when we flip the ball to Shaq, you feel good about the result. You know you're going to get his best effort, and that's all I ask for these kids. They're not going to be perfect. He's going to come in and give a bases loaded double. I'm going to do something stupid like I did on Saturday. We're all going to mess up, you know, but at the end of the day, you know you're going to get his best effort, and you know he's put his work in, and he's prepared, and he's ready. And that's what it's all about, man. Get him in those situations, trust your guys to go send it.
And you mentioned trust. So much of the pitcher-catcher relationship is about trust. One of the catchers on the team, Will Plattner, is here as well. Can you talk a little bit, Braylon, about that relationship and that chemistry that you two have built?
Yeah, I mean, Platt's awesome. He's been catching me for, 2 years, so he kind of knows what I like to do and stuff like that. So, and he helps me out a lot. He makes balls look like strikes, and he's always blocking stuff up. So, yeah, I love Platt back there.
Anything in particular that we should bring up? Any funny stories?
He's also the team barber.
Oh, is he really?
He is. Yeah, Fades by P. Check him out on Instagram.
Fade by P?
Fades by P, something like that. Check him out on Instagram. It's elite.
Excuse me while I take notes.
Yeah, it's absolutely elite. He cuts the boys up and keeps them looking fresh.
I love that. Hey, a quick reminder to everybody tuning in here tonight. To ask Coach a question, just give us a call at the McMurray Van and Car Rental Hotline, 877-202-BAMA. Rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. 8.4 left in overtime. It's 95-93 Maryland, and I believe Maryland's got the ball.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just ball just went out of bounds on us.
Oh, boy. There's an official review.
Hey, we got him right where we want him.
Which could take a while. So we'll step aside. Braylon, thank you so much for hopping on with us here on Hey Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be back with head coach Rob Vaughn and Will Plattner and Fades by P coming up when we come back here on Hey Coach. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for T-Town. The University of Alabama Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big roll tide, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tide pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next and where to put all my new bumper stickers. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big tried-and-true advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, gators, to large agricultural equipment, they've got serious game. Plus, the tried-and-true Tri-Green team is always there when you need an assist. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
Oh, my goodness. The drama ramps up in the second round NCAA tournament women's basketball game. 8.4 left. Maryland just had to call a timeout because they couldn't get the ball in. They lead Alabama 95-93. Christy Curry trying to lead the Tide to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998. This is Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. And this segment is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home, stay in comfort, and enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 restaurant and bar. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. So, again, because this game will never end, we will continue to provide updates as Maryland and Alabama face off on the hardwood in women's basketball, and we'll continue to talk baseball up here on the stage. Gray Robertson with the head coach, Rob Vaughn, and we're pleased to be joined by the catcher for the Tide, Will Plattner. Will, welcome on. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Super pumped to be on here.
So we have to obviously jump into fades by P. What's happening on the gram?
Basically, it's just a haircut page that I made. I was kind of dared by a couple teammates to make an Instagram page to promote it, but I'm pretty good with the Clippers, so I give haircuts to the team.
So who was the first person that you cut for the Instagram page?
For the Instagram page, it was Bryce Fowler, I believe. Or, no, it was Garrett Staten. Garrett Staten was the first post on the Instagram.
Okay. Coach, would you ever?
No, I love him, but he ain't touching my hair. No? Absolutely not. I love him. I love him, but he can't have my hair.
What have you liked about Will's performance of late? Because he's been really swinging it well the last few weeks.
No, there's not I give him a hard time all the time. I don't love complimenting him to his face here, but you talk about the stuff that we try to build this program on, and it's toughness, it's grit, it's work ethic, it's good people that do things the right way, and man, from day one, he was here with us last year and didn't play last year. In the world we're in now, it's really easy to kind of cut and run and say, man, I'm going to go somewhere else, I'm going to go do something else, and he just stuck it out and kept working, and wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, and just kept working, kept showing up, and every time he got an opportunity, he played great. And when you do that, and you do that at a consistent level, we keep thrusting more on your plate, and man, he's tough as nails. He's a guy, what you need in that position is somebody that guys will follow. That's the one position on the field that everybody's looking at. So who are guys going to follow? Who are guys going to want to throw to? Who's the guys going to kind of lead you through some stuff? And that's been Platt, and man, we are so incredibly fortunate. They just foul her.
They did.
Come on.
Okay. If you're listening, here's what just happened. Maryland up by 3. Sarah Ashley Barker just got fouled with no time left on the clock in overtime.
It was a 3. She shot 3, right? Come on with it.
Free throws upcoming. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
No,
Coach.
I don't even care about Platt. We got to see what happens here. No, just great human, great leader. Deserves every ounce of success he's having. He's a self-made kid, and I love coaching kids like that.
Yeah. Will, what was it, Coach mentioned it, you didn't really play last year. What was it that said it, this is the place for me, I'm going to keep working, I'm going to keep fighting, and get you to the spot where you are right now?
Yeah, sir. Last year we can be realistic. I don't know if I was ready for that role, and, this coaching staff in this place has kind of shaped me into who I am today. And, they really helped last year. Even though I didn't play, I still got experience from it. And I think coming back in this year, I kind of got to show what that experience made me into, and it's been a good start.
We talked about the pitcher-catcher relationship with Shaq earlier. It's obviously very different for you because he's, working with a couple catchers. You're working with it feels like probably a million pitchers. How do you formulate that with each guy individually?
No doubt. Just for instance, a guy like Shaq, I have the utmost respect for Shaq, and I completely trust him on the mound, and that's how it is with everyone on our pitching staff. I know when they go up there, they're going to give their best for me, and I'm going to give my best for them because we all have the same goal.
I asked Coach this earlier. I'll ask you from the player perspective. What do you feel like you and your teammates learned from this past weekend, taking on Tennessee and playing them so tough?
Yeah, I think it's easy after this weekend to just go to the point that we lost the series, but that's not our motto. We're learning from every experience. That's win or lose, and obviously the SEC or the national championship isn't won or lost in one weekend, so we're just ready to bounce back and go at it tomorrow with North Alabama.
First free throw down.
The tension is insane in here right now. We're having a conversation while also we're all side-eyeing.
She's cool as a cucumber. This is automatic.
There are 50 TVs in here, and 48 of them have this game on. Coach, what do you like about what Will just said about the lessons from the Tennessee series?
That's another free throw down, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It's exactly what he said. I think it's right on. I've told these guys, when we stepped into A&M, I think so much is made of series and winning the series, splitting the series, losing the series, but we've got 30 games in the SEC. There's 30 SEC baseball games, and there's going to be awesome weekends, there's going to be bad weekends, and money.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely money. And
she made all three.
That's tough.
Double OT, baby.
That girl can come play for us, too. She's tough. I like that. No, I think that's exactly what you said. I think it's one of those things where you learn from where we fell short. We won the game Thursday. He makes a huge play in the ninth to throw a guy out Thursday, wore out one of the best arms in the country, had a monumental comeback on Saturday, and kind of had a little bit of a mental mistake / some just physical errors that kind of not finished that one off and just got outplayed on Saturday, and that's going to happen every now and then. So, it's all about, man, we got 24 of these left, and I told him, I said, I don't want it to be winning, losing series. I just want us to approach each game and be the toughest team on the field. And majority of the time this year we've done that. Not every game, but a majority of the time we've done that. And if we can just keep that our focus, we'll look up in June and be playing some baseball in Tuscaloosa.
Will, what do you feel like this team truly is capable of down the stretch of this year? And, with the postseason, it seems like it's far away, but we all know in the sports calendar we're going to blink and it's going to be selection time.
I truly feel like this team is capable of anything we put our mind to. I know we're going to work for it. That's something that is a cornerstone of what we do. In that locker room, we're all about working to get to where we want to be. We're not asking for handouts. We're not trying to do too much, but we definitely want to be in a good spot in June, and I think that we'll be right there with it.
Absolutely. Will Plattner, Alabama head coach Rob Vaughn, everyone here at Baumhower's. Great to have you all up.
I can call double overtime if you need me to do that on here.
Do you want to stick around for one more segment and just talk about what we're seeing?
I might just completely call the rest of this game because that was electric right there.
I'm good with it. This is head coach from Baumhower's. Will, thank you so much for hopping on with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And, Coach, you can stick around for one more if you want to.
You guys are good. I'm good.
That's Alabama head coach Rob Vaughn. We'll step aside here on Hey Coach. Again, just another update. Double OT about to start. Again, what an insane game. Alabama-Maryland tied up at 96, spot in the Sweet 16 on the line. We'll update you on that. And we'll also have a conversation with Alabama head men's basketball coach Nate Oates. That's coming up in just a bit here on Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live courtside cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide fans, this season don't lose out on your home comfort. Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics and has been delivering the highest standards in home comfort across Birmingham for over 60 years. If you're looking for a great team and elite service from a quality company that cares, you can't miss with Brown in Birmingham. Score big this year with Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Visit brownheatingandcooling.com/specials to save on your next service. Roll Tide!
I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year and had chemo and radiation at DCH's Lewis and Faye Madison Cancer Center. I'm thankful for the support of my nurse Kate, my breast navigator Katrina, my doctors, and the whole staff. I have felt confident like I was the most important person there, before, during, and after. Tuscaloosa is blessed to have such an excellent team at the Madison Cancer Center.
Great things are happening at DCH.
1225 is your ultimate game day destination. Catch the game on one of their 35 big-screen high-def TVs, combined with an extensive menu of mouth-watering food and refreshing drinks. Juicy burgers, crispy wings, craft beers, signature cocktails. 1225, where the energy is high, the screens are massive, and the excitement is contagious. Visit 1225 on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, less than 2 blocks from Bryant-Denny Stadium. 1225 Sports Bar, where sports, food, and fun collide.
Tired of being just another patient at your chain pharmacy? Make the switch to Payless Drugs. With 5 convenient locations in Bessemer, Birmingham, Fairfield, Morris, and Springfield, our knowledgeable team can provide personalized medication reviews and supplement recommendations, deliver medications to your door, and more. Visit mypaylessdrugs.com to transfer today. We're just what the doctor ordered.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance, auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. You heard from a couple Alabama baseball players, Braylon Myers and Will Plattner. You also heard from the head baseball coach, Rob Vaughn, and you also heard us react to what is happening in women's basketball. Here is your scoreboard update in the second overtime. Maryland up on Alabama, 101-96, but don't count out the tide just yet. We just saw Sarah Ashley Barker a few moments ago knock down 3 free throws, down by 3 to force double OT with 0.7 on the clock. So still lots of opportunity for Christy Curry and company to come back there. How about Sarah Ashley Barker with 39 points tonight? Goodness gracious. Crazy, crazy stuff. Here's a reminder about Alabama 811 to help prevent injuries, I should say, outages and loss of life. Call 811 or visit AL811.com. Before you dig, it's free, it's simple, and it's the law. When we come back, we will hear Chris Stewart chat with Alabama head men's basketball coach Nate Oates after a victory over St. Mary's, sending the Tide to the Sweet 16 to take on BYU on Thursday. That's next here on Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Don't stop planning for your future. Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Don't stop dreaming of that new home. And don't stop growing your business. Whatever you're passionate or dreaming about, don't stop. Because when you have a bank you can trust, you have the confidence to take on tomorrow. Speak with a Trustmark associate today for advice on achieving your goals. Trustmark. People you trust, advice that works. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know that feeling when you're doing what you love? You're in the zone, truly and fully alive, lost in thought. You know what you're not thinking about? insurance. That's where Alfa comes in. Alfa handles all things insurance, so you're free to do anything. So get out there and live your best life. Whatever your thing is, we've got you covered. That's life with Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to learn more.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Get game ready by shopping at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Shop Nike, and for all your officially licensed Bama gear, head to Alumni Hall in Midtown Village or shop alumnihall.com. Receive $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Check them out at Alumni Hall. Update from women's basketball. Sarah Ashley Barker just made a layup with 28 seconds left, and it is now 108-106 Maryland. I think Christy Curry just called timeout, or Maryland did. Someone did. So there's a stoppage, and the Tide will have to get a stop and get a shot and try and win this game, or maybe force a third overtime and keep that ball game going. They're trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998. The men's side has already reached the Sweet 16. That happened yesterday against St. Mary's. Strong, pretty wire-to-wire victory by the Crimson Tide over the Gales. They'll be taking on BYU on Thursday in the Sweet 16. And Chris Stewart caught up with Alabama head men's basketball coach Nate Oates after the victory against St. Mary's and ahead of a Sweet 16 matchup. And here's that conversation between Coach and Chris on Hey Coach.
Coach, first off, just congratulations. Only 16 teams left playing, and your squad gets to be one of them again. Special time for you.
Yeah, real special. I mean, a lot of good teams not playing anymore, so we're fortunate to be in the spot we are. We've got a good group of kids. We stepped up to the challenge. So somebody sent me a stat. I think there's only, since COVID, I think this is the fifth NCAA tournament since COVID, four teams have been in 4 Sweet 16s. Houston's the only one to have been in all of them. And then it's us, Gonzaga, who had a long streak of them, broken this year by Houston, and then Arkansas, crazy enough. So, yeah, we're in pretty good company as far as making Sweet 16s here lately, but, we still got work to do. We made a Final Four last year. We were trying to get back and go further. So we've got 2 very good teams, whoever ends up coming from the other side in front of us still. So we've got to get locked in here this weekend.
Has it really struck you historically what it means right now to be in this spot? Because as you said, Alabama had not been in the tournament for more than 1 year at a time for quite a while, and now you've got the Tide not only in a 5th consecutive NCAA tournament, but Sweet 16 or better, each of those minus the 1 year against Notre Dame. It's, again, I know big for your team, it's big for your program, but historically this is a special run as well.
No, it is, and we, I think they had been in 2 in the previous 13 seasons before we got here, so, we immediately had to raise expectation levels. It's not just okay to make the tournament. If that was the case, I could have stayed at Buffalo. We made it 3 out of 4 years there and actually won a couple games. Expectation was to make deep runs, be in the tournament every year, not be on the bubble. I think that's where we've got this to now. Now we've got to make these deep runs. So we've got a really good team in BYU in front of us that, we're going to have to play really well to beat. They're a very good offensive team, top 10 in efficiency like we are. Our defense can have to be great. We're trying to get the scouting report done here today, ready to go by tomorrow's practice. We'll practice tomorrow at noon here, and we need pretty much a scout report to be in ready. So got really good assistance. Coach Adams is on it, with his staff, and we're looking at it. But, yeah, I mean, these past 2 games, I mean, it's never easy to win a tournament game. Robert Morris had been on a long win streak. They tested us, more than what we thought, but that's fine. We needed to face a little adversity sometimes. And I thought St. Mary's had the second best offensive rebounding rate in the country behind A&M. I thought we did a really good job. We out-rebounded them by 10 in the first half, and we built that 13-point lead. And then we did a good enough job in the second half, not as good as the first half, but, we ended up out-rebounding by 5 on the game. So when our guys have needed to step up to the challenge on being tough, I think they have, and I'm really, really proud of what they were able to do, particularly on the defensive and the rebounding side of it yesterday.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to basically take the entire operation on the road, and to do so for now what will be 2 weeks by the time this next leg wraps up. And I would assume we'll do like we did before, go home, should we be fortunate enough to go to the Final Four again, at least for a day or two. But could you talk about how much it actually helps to be able to stay on the road, Coach, rather than spend time traveling back to Tuscaloosa and go through all the things you have to do there, but just to be able to stay as a group on the road away and go through the things you need to get prepared for the game itself?
Yeah, I mean, we really do kind of take everything with us. Obviously, you can't take the building, but Clark brings a whole train room, sets it up in his room, the hotel with all the recovery stuff. Amanda does an unbelievable job with the nutrition. Just got to, how to eat another really good meal. That's why I got to do that fat loss contest during the year, because we get to the end of the year and we spend all this time on the road together. There's all kinds of good food around, but she does a good job making sure our players are fed nutrition-wise. We try to make sure they're taken care of, and we try to get, our guys are big on getting in the gym outside of practice, so we try to. Josh does a good job arranging shooting times and, local gyms close by that we can go take the guys for voluntary shooting in the evenings. So we get a video room set up. We get a workroom set up for the coaching staff. We kind of just lived together here for a couple of weeks. Yeah. So it worked well last year when they sent us to Spokane, just going right to L.A. So we just, same deal this year where, last year we played Friday, Sunday, and then played right away Thursday. So same thing, Friday, Sunday, play again Thursday instead of coming home Monday morning, heading right back out Tuesday, just make one trip instead of 2, since we're already kind of up north from Cleveland to New Jersey. So not too long of a flight. I thought it was smart. Guys will rest, kind of stay off their feet on, today and Monday, and then we'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and be ready to go Thursday.
How much easier is it for you to make that decision and to do this where you are together this length of time, when you got a group of guys that really enjoy being around each other and you don't have to worry about keeping things separated until game time?
Yeah, no, they're a good group. They get along well. Yeah, like you said, if it wasn't that way, if they were a group that didn't seem, or I didn't want to be around them, I certainly wouldn't want to stay out longer, but I enjoy being around them. I enjoy being around our staff. We got great staff that has fun together, great group of players. So and I think this keeps us locked into what the task at hand is a little bit better doing it this way. So nice to be around these people. I was fortunate to have my daughters with me for the weekend. I had to send them back. They got to go to school. They tried not to, but they got to go to school this week. Then we'll get them back up here Thursday for the game. So I was able to spend some time with them too. Now we'll kind of lock into the scouting report and make sure we're ready to go on Thursday.
I know you're nowhere near as well versed on BYU as you will be by the time we get really 24 hours from now, Coach. But just as you were sitting here from a distance and a quick glance at the Cougars, what can you tell us? Just an overview.
Very well coached team. I know Kevin Young. He was an assistant with the Suns. I went to the Suns training camp twice here since I've been in Alabama. I got to know him well. Used a lot of NBA concepts, similar to us. Take a lot of threes, spread it out, run good stuff. play fast, transition. They got the kid Richie Saunders that's scoring at a really high level for them. He's shooting, maybe the best shooter in the country, shooting over 50% from the field, 43% from three. He's up there. He's good. So, they got one of the kid that's supposed to be a lottery pick, Igor Demen, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but kind of like a 6'8" point guard. So, he's great at finding people. They got big center, but they got shooters kind of all over the place. So you kind of look at all their different shooters. You can't give them threes. They take a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes. We got to get them off the three-point line. I do think we're more athletic than them at spots, and I think we got to use that to our advantage, but we're going to have to play well.
For the league to have the numbers they do, first of all, you get 14 in the tournament itself, and half of them advance to the Sweet 16. And frankly, there were some upsets in that mix where you didn't get teams advancing as far as maybe they thought, but I guess it just validates what you and everybody else in the conference has said about just how good this league is.
No, very good. It's the best league maybe in the history of college basketball this year. So, and I know a lot of people are saying that maybe we wouldn't produce in the tournament like maybe we did in the regular season. We just proved everybody wrong in that, too. We got more Sweet 16 teams than anybody in the history of the tournament, 7. So, like you said, we easily could have had a couple more. So, proud of our league. It's great that kind of sell it. We'll have more pros than anybody, putting some pressure on all of us to keep our programs at a really high level. So, transfer portal open today. I'm trying to focus on BYU. Preston's spending some time recruiting because I don't think the league's getting any worse. But, we are the one region, I believe, that only has one SEC team in it. So we won't face an SEC team here in the next 2 games. And I think the other regions, I think, all have 2 SEC teams. So, yeah, a really good first weekend for the SEC, and great for our league, great for everybody in the league.
Thank you to Coach Nate Oates, and thank you to Chris Stewart for that conversation ahead of Alabama men's basketball taking on BYU in the Sweet 16 coming up on Thursday. And again, this is Hey Coach and the Nate Oates Show. They're presented by Alfa Insurance. We will take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up from here at Baumhower's Victory Grille on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Bama fans, this is Roger Hoover. Each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Each Monday night, join us for Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Live at 6 p.m. Central from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk Alabama athletics with Tide coaches and players, plus take your calls. Hey Coach is available to listen to across our radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as a video stream on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Hey Coach, Mondays at 6 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Prestige Health Net is helping rural hospitals stay local and stay open in Alabama. We use our own money to improve your hospital's IT infrastructure by delivering superior internet, cybersecurity, phones, TVs, and more. Prestige Health Net brings professional solutions to rural hospitals, saving costs and elevating healthcare standards. For more information about Prestige Health Net, visit us online at prestigehealthnet.com. Prestige Health Net. We help your hospital help you.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Get deals on a new Toyota that feel like Toyota dealer for the Ready, Set, Go event. Get $1,750 in bonus lease cash on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5. Offer valid through March 31st, 2025. Offer entitled $1,750 bonus lease cash on the lease of a new and untitled 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 gas vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most.
Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court.
Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM for more information.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Welcome back to Hey Coach here at Baumhower's Victory Grille on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Gray Robertson here in for everybody. Everybody's off doing a little bit of everything this weekend, and here is the opportunity for us to tell you what's next for Bama. Men's basketball will head to Newark, New Jersey for the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA tournament. That game tips off Thursday against BYU at 6 p.m. with coverage starting at 5 p.m. right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. And an update from women's basketball. Unfortunately, Alabama could not knock down a three in the last few seconds. Maryland wins 111-108 in double overtime. Incredible game. Sarah Ashley Barker, 45 points. That is a program record for any game ever, and that is the fourth most points by an individual in NCAA tournament history. If anything, if there was any doubt, she certainly cemented herself as one of the best to ever do it in Alabama women's basketball history. And a great year for Christy Curry and the entire crew getting to where they did this season, and plenty to build on moving forward. If you missed any portion of tonight's show, you can always catch it on demand on our Alabama Insider podcast. Download and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Vice President and General Manager Jim Carabin of the Crimson Tide Sports Network deserves a lot of thanks, as well as Ethan Carabin, Todd Robbins, our guests Rob Vaughn, Will Plattner, and Braylon Myers. This has been Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night from Baumhower's Victory